Making sense of a world in chaos, one conversation at a time. The Gym Class Majors.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy D from DNC Digital, and we are back with another episode of the Gym Class Majors podcast. And with me, as always, is my toxic brother.
As toxic
And
as they come.
Proud of it, and I love him for it. Mr. BMD, Brian Davis. What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, D? It's your boy, Brian Davis. Just just shooting the shit with my boy. What's going on, man? How was your week?
It was cool. I honestly I don't have good short-term memory, which leads to a lot of like looks by boss lady. But I actually don't have good short-term memory. I can't tell you what I did this past week. I was just trying to get some deals done. Saturday.
Closing deals, made some money.
I gotta make some money. I gotta make some money.
All right, I like it.
People are needing people are needing what I'm selling. Saturday was a Halloween party, right? Saturday was a Halloween party.
What did you dress up
Dope
as?
family.
It better not have been like a sexy cop or something.
It was a sexy firefighter. No, what I did, we went like frugal, bro. Like I think like
what the fuck does that mean?
I think now when you get to this age, you just become more creative. You want to do different shit. You don't want to buy a costume.
So then what did you come up as?
What I did, I put some blood on myself and I grabbed the bat and we got some purge masks. And we were just a purge couple.
Okay.
We were a purge couple.
You were a purge couple. I like it. I just want to say off the bat, I fucking hate your relationship. I fucking hate this shit.
Why is that?
Because you know what
you're gonna be standing there with the rest of my groomsmen and my best man at the wedding, man.
Giving you the stink eye the whole time. So the thing about it is, right, is we let off the show explaining about how toxic I am. So let's give the people a little bit of taste of how toxic.
Oh, let's dive. Let's dive.
I hate your fucking listen. I hate your relationship because it's so fucking lovey-dovey. It makes me sick, bro. Like I remember, before we jumped on, D is talking to boss lady in the background, and he asked her a question, and all I heard in response was, "Yes, my love."
That's right.
Who answers somebody like that? Who does that? Who answers somebody?
Boss lady does. Boss lady does. In
yes,
a very
my
healthy
love?
Relationship. Very healthy relationship.
What type of fucking I Love Lucy world fucking WandaVision shit are you living in, bro? Like what are you doing? What are we talking about, bro?
Hey man, I don't want to sleep on the couch. I want to have a good day. I want to be happy with the person I'm with. So I make sure that all that happens, man.
Yes, my love. It's usually in my reality, it's more like, yo, what do you want, yo? What do you want now?
What now?
What do you want? What now? What do you want? Like, I'm gonna change my name. Stop calling my fucking name. What?
The thing is, excuse me, I'm sorry. The thing is, she tries to pull that shit sometimes. So I just give her the look, cuts it right off.
I don't
cuts
believe
it right off.
I don't believe
no,
you.
Cuts it right off.
You do not. You do not. Listen,
I make shit shake just like my camera did.
You can definitely have the people that are listening and watching fooled, but friend, you don't have me fooled. You don't snap shit. You're not Thanos.
I do.
You don't
I take care of shit.
You don't wear the fucking pants. Listen, I stayed with you guys. I just visited you guys recently. I stayed in your beautiful.
What were your observations?
I'm telling you right now. I stayed there.
You were sick of it.
I'm sick of your shit. I'm sick of y'all's shit. And you don't wear the fucking pants in a relationship. You don't.
But would you say she does?
I mean, who else would? But
give me an example.
All right. So all right. We were in, where did we go? We went to San Antonio.
You guys can hear some stories now. Yeah.
So we were in San Antonio, right? And
this is gonna be good.
Yeah, so we were in San Antonio just having a great time. Now my good friend D had his really good buddy in town for the weekend, and we were just gonna hang out, and we took that 4-hour drive. 4-hour drive to San Antonio.
The Texans, that's like 4 blocks, bro.
Yeah. So we took the 4-hour drive to San Antonio. We get to San Antonio, and throughout the course of the night, we're drinking a couple shots, hanging out, having a good time.
Shout out to Mission Pro Wrestling.
Shout out to Mission Pro Wrestling. Yes, absolutely. In the process of us having a good time, my friend's phone dies. Now, to me, I don't think that's a big deal. Your phone dying, that is.
Sure.
But the panic that washed over your face.
That's not true.
The panic that washed over your face. I've never seen anything like it. That's the reason why that's the reason why I hate your relationship, because like secretly, subconsciously, I probably want something like that, to where I can be as frantic when my phone dies so that my loved one can just hear from me every 5 minutes. Like, I want that, but I don't have that, so I can just poke fun at it until I.
You can poke fun at it right now.
Absolutely, and I can say how sick of it I am, because that's my job as a good friend.
We spend so much time together that we just enjoy our time together. And I know it sounds weird, and I look at it sometimes.
That's a fucking lie. That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
No one enjoys each other's time that much,
bro. That's what I'm trying to tell her. I'm like, how have you not gotten sick of me? Like, look at my face. Like, really look at my face. And sometimes I make some dumb decisions, or she'll tell me to pick something or grab something from the fridge, and it's right in front, like it's here, and I don't see the shit.
Yeah, man.
But we just enjoy each other's time. But can't you like at least admire that boss lady was like, Brian, take him out. He never gets out. Like, just go. Like, it's all good. She trusted me in your hands.
She wanted you out the fucking house. That's what it was. Like, you saw that as oh, please show him a good time. I took that as, yo, dude, get this motherfucker out of my face, bro. Get him out of my face. I'm so tired of looking at this dude, bro. And then when your phone dies, you're like, yo, dude, let me use your phone. Yo, I'm like, bro, like, relax, it's okay. Like, we'll call her.
The crazy thing is that, man, when we first met and we were hanging out, man, we were like going out and just knocking them back like till 2, 3 in the morning. Still good, still coherent, still understanding what's going on. And remember Pete's Grill or Pete's bar? Casey's.
Casey, no, yeah, Casey is what you're talking about. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Pete would get us blasted. And at the end, at the end, we'd be like, yo, Pete, how much? He's like, just $15.
$10.
Like, what the fuck?
What are the odds?
But then we would take care of him.
No, absolutely. He knew what he was doing. What are the odds of Pete still being alive?
I don't know, man. I want to say that our good mutual friend, who recently had a baby, beautiful boy. Yeah, I just, I wasn't sure, but I think she may have told me that he's already passed on.
Oh, shit! I didn't.
We got to confirm though. But I don't know, bro. I remember, bro. You know my brother, bro. My brother wanted to go play pool one night. I was like, oh, I know a bar, and like we can get fucked up for like $20. So we walk in there. Pete takes one look at him. For those that do not know, my brother is 6'3". Light-skinned, a little lighter than Brian. He looks at my brother. He goes, "I'm sorry, this is a white bar." I was like, "Motherfucker."
Pete was a trip, man. Pete was a trip, and
he was a trip,
and he would dare you to arm wrestle. He wanted to arm wrestle everyone.
But the fucker was strong though.
Strong as fuck.
Strong shit.
Old as hell. And I've never seen anybody beat him.
It's just that those old men are so hardened by life, you can't bend them. It's like one big callus.
I've seen the strongest of the strong try to take on Pete, and he just made them look like fucking children. It was the wildest shit ever.
Don't bring your girl around him.
Oh, he's definitely trying to poke your girl.
No, he would look at her. He's like, you sex kitten, you look at those tits. And then you can't get mad at him.
And you gotta sit there and eat it because he's only charging you $5 for fucking $20 worth of drinks and shit. So you gotta sit there and let him harass your girl and shit. And like you gotta. He
probably stole a peck from your girl too.
Yeah. Fucking Pete. Oh, but yeah, man. Those are good times. Those were good times. But yeah, getting back to the topic, I hate your relationship.
So what it is that back then we were just easy, bro. Like, let's go, and we killed it. But now I want to say that night in San Antonio was like 3 beers, 3 shots, and I was done. Done.
I kind of kept.
I want to say
out.
we took two. We took 2 at that first bar with that cool bartender. We went
Okay.
across the street. I think we just had 1 each.
Your recollection of it is going to be a little bit different from mine because
A little hazier. Yes.
you were a lightweight
was-
and
I was done.
you were drunk. I guess we don't have to continue into that conversation about how the night actually ended. But yeah, we definitely had more than 5 shots. We had, I want to say we had a few more after those first 2 bars because we ended up going bar hopping and having a few more beers and just talking to random people in San Antonio.
We went to another bar.
We did.
A third bar.
We did.
I didn't know that.
And that was when you decided. And see, this is where this is where it is. So when you were to the point where you really didn't know what was going on at that point, the one thing you wanted to do, it wasn't to continue having a good time. It wasn't to, see where the next bar we're going to. What was your main concern?
I wanted to let her know I'm okay. That sounds like such a pussy statement now that I say it out loud, but in my mind and in my heart, it sounds fine.
Like if you had just subtly said, "Yo, B, let me see your phone. I want to, just let her know that I'm alive. I'm good." You were just so very adamant about it. Like you wouldn't leave me the fuck alone until I gave you my phone. I'm over here trying to get an Uber so our drunk asses aren't stranded or robbed in fucking downtown San Antonio, and you're bugging me for my phone. Now, luckily, we ended up getting back okay, and then you ended up calling the missus, and it was great.
And then we couldn't open the damn door.
Could not open the door.
I needed to pull the trigger, man.
I had to put you on the sideline. I had to put you somewhere where you couldn't be seen because you were making a scene a little bit. I could not have people see you in that state. But yeah.
The best thing about it was that boss lady told me the next day that I just kept apologizing about like getting fucked up because I don't drink anymore. I don't go out. And then she's like, all Brian told me was like, it's like, hey, all D can do is just talk about you, and it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah. So I just want everybody to know that's listening. These aren't views that I keep to myself. I let these people know. Like I'm tired of your fucking shit. Like
let it out.
All weekend.
I love you for that. Fuck that.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's great. I mean, in all jokes aside, I love you. I love the boss lady. I love your whole family. You have a beautiful family. So this is just me
you, bro.
Trying to get these jokes off and all that shit. But nah, man, I really do appreciate the life that you created for yourself out there, and it's beautiful to see. And again, it does make me a little bit jealous. But then, after 10 minutes, I remember who I am, and I'm like,
who you are. Yeah, no, but it kind of makes me think about a quote that I read today. Just remember when you were wishing for the things you have now. True. You know what I mean? A lot of times we are just looking forward and a little too forward, where we're like, damn, I don't have that yet. I haven't made it. I don't have the car, or a car less than 5 years old, or I don't have the house, or I don't have my business growing, or maybe we don't have this X amount of money in the bank, but like roof, food, love, and health, I'm good. I would say, in some cheesy Zen way that I've already made it, man. Like I'm thankful for the people I got around me, including yourself, and it's just cool. Like today, like it's my first.
No, I'm sorry. You are very lucky to have somebody like me around you. Just you kind of.
I am.
You kind of brushed.
I didn't want to gloss over that.
No, yeah, you just basically brushed over it. No, we're gonna double back for that for a little bit. Like we're gonna.
Let's go, Brian.
Yeah.
For every reason in the world, I'm very thankful.
That's better.
To have such a
that's better.
Such a stubborn, abrasive,
keep going,
aggressive.
One more,
and just inappropriate friend.
There you go.
In my life.
There you go. I like it. I'll take it. But, but that right there, it definitely that last minute or two of what you were saying, it definitely makes me grateful for the things that I do have in my life, and it definitely makes me think of certain things in our life that could have went left at any given point, at any given matter, and it wouldn't have turned out this way. And it reminds me, I don't know if you have been aware, but there's a football player that was recently in a horrible car accident in
Yeah,
Vegas um
yeah.
a couple days ago, and it made me just so grateful for how my life is, even though it might not be exactly where I want it to be, or I'm not at my destination, but it definitely made me reflect and just to know that that could have been me. That could be me. And to anybody that's listening, I am referring to the Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs III. He was in a horrible car accident in Vegas, and the reports are not good. Did you hear about this, D?
No, yeah, I did, and it's I'm gonna let you elaborate on it for our listeners and our viewers, but it's just not good from any angle. But it kind of you need to step back for a second. But go ahead, elaborate.
No, the details really are kind of murky. And I only go off of, major publications when they come out to give facts about what happened. All that I know is that, he was at a gathering or something, and he decided to hop in his car, inebriated, apparently, allegedly, and top speeds, and from all reports that I've read, they said that his car was going up to 156 miles an hour, which
So
is,
is that determined by the damage that was done to the other one, or is that
I'm
like
not
based on
exactly
maybe street
sure.
cameras?
I'm assuming it has to be based off of street cameras and things of that nature. And I really don't want to spend too much time on the facts. So interestingly enough, I have a really good group of friends that we're all in a group chat, and we were talking about this specific topic, and the the point was brought up that, you know he's young, and he's allowed to make mistakes, and we've all have been in a similar situation where we have probably gotten behind the wheel of a car when we
Yeah, no,
probably
nobody can sit there and
when we
say. I mean, I'm
probably
not going to say
shouldn't have.
nobody. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but
when
yeah.
we probably shouldn't have. And that was by my good friend Reef. Shout out to Reef, Go 16 Mesh, everybody that was in that conversation. It was great discourse. Um, it led to the conversation as to, well, where do we draw the line of it no longer being acceptable to use the young and dumb excuse for situations? When does it turn, what's the threshold for that? Like, when does it turn from, okay, he was young and dumb and stupid and made a mistake, to you can't use that as an excuse? Because from my perspective, once you are drunk driving, which again we've all done it. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna act like I'm holier than thou. We've all done it, and luckily we've all made it to our destination. Some of us didn't and got DUIs or whatever it may be, and hopefully we learned our lesson, and that's all that came from it. Um, but when you get behind the wheel of a car and you're either drunk or high or pilled up, whatever the case may be, and you're driving, I think that the most, what's the word? I don't know, egregious, outrageous fact of this story is that he was going 156 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Hmm.
that is taking it past the line of, now you're being just young and stupid, because now we all know the ramifications of what can happen when you're in this situation. And the worst, well, and this is another point, I don't even call this situation the worst situation. The worst that could have probably happened was he took someone else's life and he took his life, but this young man survived and took someone else's life. So it's a horrible situation, that weird to say, could have ended up worse. Um, and just to know that he threw his life away, not his career, because fuck his career, fuck the
No,
NFL.
no, the Korean. No, yeah, that's all diminutive
Yeah,
compared to the larger spectrum.
yeah, he threw his life away. Like he threw his life away. If you think about it, it would be very easy to think that when I say that, you think he threw his football career away or his celebrity away or anything like that. No,
None of that matters right now. No.
mentally, just from that perspective, mentally, he is going to be fucked the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Do you see a different perspective on that? What's your take on that unfortunate chain of events?
There's a degree of responsibility that you need to having a license is already a huge responsibility. Now, when I have drank and driven, bro, I try my best to get that slap of sobriety, and I'm going 30. I'm going 30, and I'm chilling, and I'm like this 10-2, and I'm making sure that I don't hurt nobody and I don't hurt myself. And it's a dumb decision. I'm not condoning what I did. I'm not saying go ahead and drink, but just be careful. I'm not saying any of that. Please, anybody listening, please do not drink and drive. It is not worth it, whether it's legal problems or personal problems, or even worse, like what happened with this young man, Mr. Ruggs. But there's the degree of responsibility, man. You can't. And then what? For me, my perspective is like, would you lose control if you're 22 years old and they hand you millions of dollars?
So
Like
that was
I don't want to win the lottery. I would never want to win the lottery because
yeah.
I would say I'm gonna lose control. After you get the house and the car and you set up mom and you set up your boys and you buy your brother his car and you set up the kids and all that. What else? Now you're just gonna spend stupid money. You're gonna make stupid decisions. You're 22 and you have so much responsibility and too much money and oh man, it's a really bad situation. I don't I don't believe in the young and dumb thing. I understand that people make mistakes, but these are like little mistakes. Like me and you, Brian, like when we met, 20 years old, like we could have just had a fight at the bar and did a one nighter. I'd call that a dumb mistake as a young man, you know? But this is just something different.
So that was the pushback that I got in our conversation is you know
There is
again,
another point,
again
but go ahead. Go ahead.
again that we've all put ourselves in that dumb situation before, and a good friend of mine, was his pushback was, yeah, but like, what would you have done if you were young, rich, and you had access to just damn near everything in the world? You can put yourself in that situation and see how things can go left. And then my response to that was, I understand that, but it's so much bigger. My life wasn't in I don't want to say that, but like this kid had the future of his entire family in the palm of his
Hmm.
hand.
Yeah.
Like the ramifications are a little bit different. If I get caught with a DUI,
Yeah.
the ramifications that I can survive that. But being in a situation where my entire bloodline is riding on it, I'm calling an Uber. The team offers rides homes for the players. You don't have to get behind the car. Like it's a 50, he was in the state where he played. So it couldn't have been more than a 50, 60, $70 Uber at the most. And again, the team
The guy
facilitate
is yeah. Uh-huh.
the team facilitates a ride home wherever you are. You have a 24-hour car service. So being that he had the resources to avoid the situation is really unfortunate. And then today, I had the unfortunate pleasure of seeing the video of seconds
Oh shit.
after the accident happened, which was just heartbreaking to know that the fire that was going on had somebody in it. Like, it wasn't a video afterwards where the car was already extinguished. No,
Yeah.
the accident had just recently happened, and there was somebody still in there burning alive.
So
That was wild.
I've had a conversation about him sitting on the curb while the victim was in there, but I've also heard that there are legal ramifications for pulling somebody out and you hurt them, then they can legally sue you. But I can't sit
I'd
there.
rather you sue me than me watch
Yeah, and then
you
having
burn
that on
alive.
my conscience, I
Yeah.
can't sit there and just watch that shit. Like, it's just a bunch of bad decisions. I didn't know about the added layer about the fact that team organizations offer 24-hour car ride
Oh yeah,
service.
that's not
That,
uncommon. That's not
that's
uncommon.
not that's you see that makes it worse, man. Like, why didn't he just make that decision? And I don't want to bash him, as we talked about a couple episodes ago, punching down on somebody.
Mhm.
It just gets you excuse me, it gets you upset, and this leads to that resentment that people have toward people with money because they feel like they're untouchable, like they can just do whatever the hell they want. I'm not one of those people. I'm just upset that he wasn't just smart enough to just say, I'm going to call a car. And not only that, what I was going to say earlier is that I was having these conversations with people, and they're like, think about the family, because the Raiders reached out, the Raiders released them, right? And the Raiders reached out, and they're taking care of that family of the victim. Setting them up with maybe trust funds, or definitely taking care of her funeral arrangements and stuff like that. They're
Mhm.
like, think about the family, and I'm like, you know what? At the same time, we're human. I'm not excusing him, but think about his family too. Like, that life is also ruined. Not just
That-
not just
yeah.
the victim, but in 20 years you're going to be 42. You're going to be done. No football career anymore. Now what are you going to do? And now, does he have kids?
I don't
Even
think.
even if he doesn't,
Yeah.
the mom loses her son for 20 years. The brother loses his brother for 20 years. The sister loses her brother, and it's just it's on both sides. Of course, more on the victim side, but it's just a bad look on all
Yeah,
sides.
no, there's no there's and I hate stories where there is just no positive outlooks. Like, there's just
None,
nothing.
none,
There's just no
none.
good to come from any of it. Any way you look at it, any way you dice it up, everyone that's basically surrounding him is affected by this. Again, he was set up, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with him as an athlete, but he was pretty good. He was pretty good. He was a young kid. I think this was like his sophomore year. He had potential. He literally had the potential to change the course of his family's life,
Lineage, like the whole
the whole lineage.
generations down.
Yeah, he had the capability to do that, and it's gone. It's gone, and a life was lost. And moving forward, 22 years aside, prison time, he is never gonna be the same. He's never gonna be the
Gonna
same.
have that on his conscience, and
He's
just
gonna have that on the fact that he killed somebody on his conscience, the fact that he let so many people down on his conscience. That's going to be very, and I'm not saying that he can't come back from that mentally, but that's going to be a long, long, rough road for him to come back from.
then you're gonna be sitting in an 8 by 4 room just thinking about that all day
Yeah,
with an hour of sunlight.
yeah. And then not only that, but again, like, you take the prison time away, take that out of the equation. Just
Even if
wherever
he was
he
out,
is,
even if he
yeah,
was out, yeah.
wherever he is, that's going to be mentally um a hurdle. That's going to be a challenge for him. So my prayers to everyone involved,
Everybody.
anyone that was affected by this, and anyone that's listening or watching, you guys can leave a comment on your thoughts on what happened and the outcome. And if you think I'm too harsh on the kid, or if you think, like, he's young, and he'll do his time, and he'll reform. And so leave your comments on your thoughts on this topic.
So what I was reading earlier was about Ben Simmons, who plays
Okay.
for the Sixers.
Yes.
So I remember that Ben Simmons didn't have, because we're talking about mental stuff. So I remember that Ben Simmons didn't really have the greatest season last year.
No,
And
he actually had a pretty decent season.
a
Really good, actually.
decent one, but
Yeah.
I think there were some expectations, and maybe he didn't meet them anyway. So in the middle of COVID and all that stuff, so he decides not to go to training camp. He decides not to go to practice and not show up. So he is citing mental health issues or difficulties, as to going back into the game. And I'm nobody to say whether he has them or not, but he's refusing to go to practice. And I see the look on your face, and I might agree with you because what the team has offered is mental health therapy. Like, hey, if you need help, we got you. Let's let's sit you down with one of our psychiatrists, and it's on the house, obviously. Like, and he's still refusing it. So
All right.
I don't know the deal now. And now coach is saying that he's not part of the team.
So this is
So where's the line now, bro?
this
Like,
is
where's the line now?
this is a very
You know?
interesting situation. So in today's era, today's day and age, mental health is huge. It's more talked about now than it's ever been in any generation.
Very open conversation.
Ever.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't want to say Ben Simmons has mental health issues. This is just been tension between him and the organization that's been going on for a few years now, for a few seasons. And there were talks now to lead up to this. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ben Simmons and his relationship
Okay.
with the Sixers, but there's been tension back and forth. Ben Simmons is a great defensive player. He's been working offensively to get better. He's a really good player. And after last season, which turned out to be a disappointment as an organization, I wouldn't say individually for him, but as an organization, it was a failure. It was a letdown. And there were talks of him being traded. And I'm talking about like maybe even before his last game of the season of the playoffs last year.
Oh, they were like, we got to get rid of this guy.
Exactly. And this is the organization here. And it was public. It was widely known. It wasn't one of these behind closed doors type of things trying to get things done. No, this was public and it was messy, right? So just imagine if you're Ben Simmons and this is all playing out in the public eye, but yet you're supposed to stay loyal to this organization. So then when you can't get a deal done and now the next season rolls around and now you're having training camp and I tell you to go fist yourself, now I'm the bad guy. So he showed up to a practice in sweats and was sent home. So he's basically doing things to say fuck you to the organization. I don't think this is a really I'm not sure if you were under the impression that this was like a serious thing, and I don't want to dismiss it as not being a serious thing, but I don't think Ben Simmons has mental health issues. He's just given a middle finger to the organization because there's there's friction there. There's been a consistent back and forth, and it's playing out in real time in front of cameras. And this was the latest where he's like, "Oh, I don't want to play for you. Like, I don't feel. I'm not really. I need like a mental day, or I don't feel good." And the organization goes, "All right, well then we'll give you a shrink. We'll give you help." And he was like, "Nah, I don't want that. Nah, I'm good." Because think about it, if you're admitting that you have mental health issues and somebody is offering help, why would you refuse it?
Because he's a spoiled brat. Now that you're telling me everything,
I don't think, honestly, if you're asking my opinion, I don't think he's spoiled. I think he's tired of the bullshit. Like, don't try to shop
so
me.
then, but don't use a crutch.
Listen, don't and then okay, so that is an argument that I will.
That's what's upsetting me right now.
Is that you're using the mental, and that's why I started off the way that I did with this because he's using a something that was never really talked about and it was never really embraced in so many cultures as it is now. You're using that as an excuse to get back at your team, and that's not good. That's not cool.
I wouldn't
But
say so.
Ben Simmons is a young gentleman, and again, just like every other young gentleman, like he's afforded mistakes, and
Sure.
if that's how he chooses to go about this, I'm not going to condemn the kid, but then at the same time, how do you expect him to feel? Like, it's I
No,
think
okay.
as an athlete, hold on one second. As an athlete, I think it's eye-opening when you realize you're a commodity. You're not really a
Mm,
human being. You're an athlete that can be traded and shipped and moved around like a chess piece.
a
You know
chess
what I'm
piece.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm assuming that everything that I read, everything that I know, that's where he is, and he's like, all right, well, if you guys want to move me, I'm not going to risk playing, injuring myself, devaluing myself, and then losing out on potential money. So now, fuck you. I'm gonna play as little games as possible. I'll blame it on the fucking sky being blue and sitting out. I
Do you
don't. I
feel like
don't.
every player should do that if there are trade talks?
Why not? It's their right.
Because it's a business. You're contracted to play.
Okay.
You're contracted to play. You're on the roster.
What the fuck does that
You're
contract? What does that contract mean to me?
to show up.
If all right, if I showed up for the last 7 years
Yeah.
and you were about to discard me and made it public every day, discrediting me, and you can't get the deal done, now you have to deal with me. What world are we living in where I'm supposed to just put a smile on my face and give you the best of me? No, fuck you. You try to get rid of me, and you couldn't.
There are some details in that there are some details in that I can agree with you. But be a man and say what's the problem. Don't say, "Hey, I got a bad mental health issue." Nah, fuck that. I don't.
Anyone,
I'm not a fan
I'll
of
agree
that
with you. I will agree with you on that. But anyone that is familiar
because
with
it's
the
become such
situation
an
can read
open
between the lines.
conversation. And I'm sorry to cut you off. It's because it's become such an open conversation. I don't want people to be like, "Oh, that's an easy out right there. I can use that because everybody's using it." Now it
I think we're
discredits
already
the
there.
ones. Okay, that's fair to say. We're already there. But
I think
now
we're
it's going
already
to be
there.
like it's going to be like the boy who cried wolf, where so many people are saying it. Like, oh, I don't know if you're really like depressed, or I don't know if you really have issues because that guy did it over there and he was lying. How do I know you're not lying? Now the person that actually needs the help is not going to be believed.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's a very interesting
So
situation.
the Sixers were trying to trade him and they weren't able to get the deal done.
Yes, that's exactly what it was, and it's just I couldn't imagine putting myself in a situation knowing that a team doesn't want you, and they were publicly trying to trade you, and they couldn't get it done. So now you're stuck with me. Now I have to sit here
So
and play for an organization that I know does not have my best interest at heart. They don't want me. What do
so
you
some of
what do you
those
do?
behaviors and actions got him fined, didn't it?
I don't know if we got him fined. I gotta know got him. I know we got him sent home. So I'm assuming that if you were sent home, you're fined. You know, if you're not playing
If
any new
it were
games.
me, if it were me, excuse me, and you're trying to get rid of me and you couldn't, I'm showing up every day and just looking you in the eye and smiling. And I'm gonna get paid. I'm not gonna do anything to get myself fined to lose on that potential money like you mentioned earlier. I'm gonna show up and be like, you do not want me here, and I'm gonna get paid while you don't want me here.
I think
Money's gonna be in my pocket despite what you want right now.
I think that's the thing. I think Ben Simmons, and I'm not exactly 100% sure on his contract, but I think Ben Simmons gets paid regardless.
Mm.
I think he gets paid. So whether you play me or you don't, he gets money, so he doesn't give a fuck. So yeah, I need a mental health day. I need a
So
mental
now
health day.
with this behavior that he's exhibiting, you as an NBA owner, would you want to pick that up?
That's the question. That's a great question. So yeah,
You know?
so in the midst of that, while you're trying to piss off your current organization and your current employer, what you're really doing is displaying
You're
um
burning every bridge.
yeah, you're kind of making it hard to um be considered an asset to any other organization.
Mm,
So
I don't know.
you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot trying to show your ass to this organization. But hey, listen, I'm sure he's a hell of a player. He'll land somewhere. Hopefully he'll land somewhere where he's
The
appreciated and
European League.
he's happy. Either way, there's money there too.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with going to the European League or the China League or any league. There's money everywhere. So wherever he lands, my hats off to him. And honestly, I come from the side of buck the system. So I just don't like it. I just don't like you using the mental health angle. But if you could buck the
Mm.
system, man, go for it, man. Fuck it.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What's one time that you bucked the system? Do you have an example?
Buck the system. I mean, I do it all the time, and I'm just a very mouthy person. And you know what it is? I don't even really call it so much bucking the system, but just standing up to for what I believe in. I have
Yeah.
hard convictions on the things that I believe in, and I don't compromise. As you know, I'm a very direct person. I say what's on my mind. I really don't hold my tongue back for anybody. I have that Napoleon complex, so to speak, and um, I don't really care about the ramifications. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, you're gonna tell me to go fuck myself, or I get my ass beat. I've had my ass beat before. I've been told to go fuck myself. So it's not the end of the world. But I think that just speaking my mind to in any situation. I'm not like this on camera in front of you. I'm like this in front of my employers. I'm like this in front
No,
of
no, yeah, yeah.
and like I am who I am. I'm respectful, but if I come from the world of what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Um so bucking the system, I think that's kind of an exaggeration because you bucking the system can get you unemployed and I got bills to pay. So
Easy.
I can't
Yeah, yeah.
I can't really buck the system unless I think the only people that are allotted to buck the system are people that are either well off or on their way to being well off, or
Nothing
have
to
the
lose.
vision,
Yeah.
yeah, or have their vision of being, somewhere else. So I don't really buck the system, but I don't hold my tongue back for anybody. I don't sugarcoat anything. I think anyone that knows me, anyone that's around me, they appreciate that about me. But yeah, what about yourself? Like, have you ever been in a situation where, you burnt the house down, not physically or figuratively,
No,
but
I mean, I can think of a couple things. I was in the restaurant business for over 10 years, and that's a thankless job. You already know that. Thankless
Mhm.
job. And there have been a bunch of times. One of them was a misunderstanding at that place that we worked at. Misunderstanding about a little kid, and the mom was yelling at us, and I calmed her down, and then uh, she just looked at me. She's like, "You're a good speaker." I was like, "Yeah, but I know where the punching bags. I understand." But I remember we had we had a whole, like, what they call a fancy meeting, like they give a fuck.
Yeah.
They just wanted to put us in our place or some shit. Anyway, so there was like a lot of complaints, and then they were saying this guy gave me a story. The regional manager gave me a story like it was gonna work. So he's like, "Oh, this guy went into a pizza place and he just wanted a slice of pizza. He was having a bad day. He just wanted a slice of pizza. So they didn't have, or it's the pizza's gonna be ready in 20 minutes." And then that he got mad. He started throwing shit and blah blah blah. And then in my head, I'm like, why would you ruin an establishment like that? It's not
What
their,
kind
you
of
know.
what kind of pizza was it?
Well, I mean, no, when I say like wait to 20 minutes, it's an exaggeration. It's like, just give us a minute. We're gonna get one out and get it fresh up. What the moral of the story is that when they spoke to him, they found out that he lost his job the day before, and his wife left him, took the kids, and he kicked him out the house and all that shit. I raised my hand, and he goes, "Yes." And I was like, if my wife leaves me and takes my kid, am I allowed to throw a pancake at somebody's face now?
Hell
And
yeah.
then he kind of like set up, and he goes, no. I'm like, well, you're telling us to allow ourselves to be treated like that. I don't give a damn if you've had a bad day. Don't take that shit out on me. I'm bringing you coffee and some food. That
Yeah.
how is that my problem? So then he pulled me to the side and he goes, hey, when I'm trying to prove a point to the so and so, I was like, yeah, but I'm not gonna. I don't care if
That's
if you
some
had a bad day,
bullshit.
bro.
That's
It's some
some bullshit.
bullshit.
See, yeah, I mean, you have a very subtle way of bucking the system. For the place that you and I both worked at together, I told our fucking manager to go fuck himself. That's my way of bucking
Hmm.
the system. I told him to go fuck himself, and I got fired on the spot. Remember that? Were you there for that?
I
When I
wasn't
got
there.
fired?
No. I had already left the company.
Yeah, I told him to go fuck himself, and I got fired on the I got fired on the spot. So that's the reason why I kind of
My cousin used to work there, and
yeah.
he called a certain manager a fucking guinea, and then he got fired.
That would definitely
That would
do
definitely,
it.
yeah.
That'll definitely do it. But yeah, yeah. So I mean, listen, I hope Ben Simmons finds some type of resolution soon to where he can get back to doing what he loves and that he can, continue to support his family and all that good stuff. And yeah,
He
so
needs
that's
to
what
shut
I
up
have with
about that
that.
mental health angle, though.
I'm not gonna kill him for that. I'm not gonna
No, no,
accuse him
no.
of
I'm
that
not. I'm
right
not.
there.
I'm just saying he should. Just saying he should.
Maybe he should. What else? Was there anything else that you wanted to get to? Oh, you know what I saw? I did see Jay-Z. Jay-Z got inducted
Oh, he
into
inducted. Yes.
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna look up that roster
Let's
because
look up that list. Hold on.
that list,
I got you.
this list was phenomenal. I know LL Cool J was also inducted. Tina Turner, I think, was inducted. Um, yeah, so this lineup was, and there's a lot more, but this lineup was stacked, to be honest with you. How is Tina Turner just now getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I was about to say that because so the parameters are that 20 years
20
after
years.
your
It's 20
first
years.
album,
Yeah.
20 years after your first album,
Uh-huh.
you are eligible. So Tina Turner, Carole King, holy shit, Carole King.
Mhm.
The Go-Go's,
Yep.
dope. The Go-Go's are dope. Foo Fighters, that's
Foo
cool.
Fighters, one of my favorite.
Jay-Z, Todd Rundgren, Early Influencer Award, Charlie Patton, Kraftwerk, Musical Excellence Award, LL Cool J, Billy Preston, fuck Billy Preston, bro. Randy Rhoads. That's a good lineup. That's a good lineup. You know what I like about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I saw, who was it? It was Metallica going in, and they're there with their families and their wives, and he was holding his daughter, and it was
Mhm.
almost like, give me a second, Daddy's got to go rock with his friends.
Yeah.
And it's like they still got it.
Yeah.
Did you see a long time ago? I saw Hart go in.
Who?
Hart does the "Go Crazy on You."
Okay. Yeah.
She's been sampled a few times. But damn, bro, they look like English teachers. They look like elementary school English teachers now. They are older women, but they fucking rocked the stage, bro. The Beastie Boys induction was crazy because I had Travie McCoy, Kid Rock, and Tariq Black Thought from the Roots. But yeah, it's cool to see Jay-Z go in an era where now it's cool for the rappers to go in, because before it was just rock and roll.
Yo, it's cool that the rappers are going in, but like this hip hop Hall of Fame, it needs to be built immediately. Like I'm tired of watching, and this is no shade. Well, no, fuck that. It's total shade being thrown at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But I want like there to be a hip hop Hall of Fame like immediately. I know
So
they're building
who runs it though? Will it have the same?
They're building one in the Bronx, I believe. I think they're building one in the Bronx, and it should be up next year or the year after. But it is underway. But even so, like it's still like 10, 15 years too late. I just don't like Jay-Z. I love the fact that he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I just don't want that to be valid, like his ultimate validation. So now when you say his name, it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, or it's going to be on the same list as the Grammys and all that stuff. I want there to be like,
The hip hop Hall
Jay-Z,
of Famer.
the hip hop Hall of Famer. Yeah, like I kind of want us to have our own thing, and I say us as in like the the
The
the
culture.
the culture, or the hip hop community. Like I kind of want us to have our own thing, and not have so much importance thrown on being inducted into the Rock and Roll, because now, like, what's the criteria of you getting in? Like, okay, so Jay-Z gets in, but who's to say that somebody else that I put right under Jay-Z will ever get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? If they don't get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, are they as popular, or not popular, but do they have more accolades now than Jay-Z, or just as
More
much
impact, yeah.
Jay-Z? Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I don't like this being the like a bar to be set at. It's cool, but I think that we need our own thing.
I just
Personally.
hope that they don't still put it under the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because they'd be like, oh, he didn't get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but he got into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Like, good enough,
Well,
right? Or
well,
so
that's what they're gonna, that's what they're gonna do
what you
anyway.
want to make sure to do is like they're separating the genres. But like first, who's got to go in there? Like, Russell Simmons, Run DMC, Rick Rubin, Rakim.
Yeah.
You know,
hmm
what's the next verses, bro? Today they had a verses. No, I'm sorry. Yesterday they had a verses, like a gaming verses. It was like the Lils versus the Bigs. It was like Big Sean and somebody else versus Lil Jon and one of those other Lil rappers.
Yeah,
But
I don't know exactly what. Oh yeah, they had the versus host Call of Duty tournament. I
mhm.
don't know what that's about. I don't care about that. But there hasn't been any announcement on the next versus. I wasn't really looking forward to the last one with
Yeah,
KRS
yeah, yeah.
One and Big Daddy Kane, because I'm so much of a KRS One fan that Big Daddy Kane was just way too before my time. KRS One was a little bit before my time, but he's the fucking man. So I didn't think it was even going to be worth watching. But I did end up watching it like the next day, and it was dope. I'm upset that I didn't watch that live. I'm looking now. It doesn't look like there's anything announced. But you know what can be said is that ever since they did sell to Trilla, they've been doing the damn thing. Like this
They've been
is
doing the damn thing. The
it's been looking
production
a lot
value
better.
on
The
everything.
production,
Yeah.
everything has been looking a lot better. And it has me excited about what's coming in the future. Um, who would
And they're
you? I
doing
think
they're
I
doing
think
things that transcends music. Like now they're doing the gaming tournament, and they're doing like sports ones and
and didn't
uh
I think who was it? Somebody called out Kevin Hart to do like a comedy versus. Who was
oh,
that? I
Chris
can't remember.
Rock, right? Was it Chris Rock?
Yeah, I think it might have been. Hold on one second.
Omar or Mike Epps? Mike Epps?
Honestly, I would love to see Mike Epps and Kevin
Yeah, but
Hart
what
do
happens?
versus.
What happens there? They just go joke for joke.
I don't know. Like I guess they would have to iron out the logistics on that. But I mean, whatever it is, I'm there for it. Like I would definitely be there for a comedy versus, as long as it's two comedians that I would that are good enough to have one. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be two random comedians.
See, I wonder if they would write for the night or if they would pull out classic jokes.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
like you kind of
oh, it
you.
was.
I
I
mean
think it was Cat Williams.
Cat
Yeah,
Williams. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
it was Cat Williams. Now that I would pay to see that. Like I would. I mean, whatever type of stipulation she put on that. If it was in Madison Square Garden, I would pay to be at a versus with Kevin Hart and Cat Williams. I would pay for
That
that.
would be dope.
Absolutely. I would definitely want to be in the building for that. That's great.
Got to make sure we pay some bills. Shout out to Can You Handlebar. If you are looking for anything for your facial hair, just check out canyouhandlebar.com. They have some beard oil, beard balm, mustache wax, dope brushes, and dope shirts and hats. Brian,
it is officially No Shave November, so get your shit, man.
I've been I've cheated. I've
You
kind
trimmed?
of no.
Trimmed
I
it?
mean, I'm cheating with the No Shave November thing. I've been doing it for years, I guess.
Okay, I
Thank
got
God
you.
I'm in a job where it doesn't matter.
It's a
It kind of matters. I might have to trim it. It looks a little too long, but it's cool.
It's all right. Still a little handsome devil. You still got the boss lady calling you honey and slapping you on the ass when you walk by. So that's all that matters.
That's what I do. I'm growing out the hair too. She's kind of liking it.
Okay.
The other day I went to her job.
Okay.
I went to her job and it was in my face and I kind of did one of these and she's like, "You need to stop that." I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Because I'm at work." I'm like, "Okay,
You guys,
nice."
you guys make me fucking sick. I want to throw up right now. You guys make me sick.
Wait until you visit again.
I'm gonna shut all that shit down. No, I was being nice, but now, now that I'm a little bit more comfortable, I'm shutting all that shit the fuck down. You're gonna have to put that on pause while I'm in town, dude.
You're gonna sit between us when we're watching movies.
Fuck all that. Yeah, man. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. But yeah,
Ladies
anything
and
else that you
gentlemen,
want to talk about?
I'm. It was a slow week, but
Yeah,
I
very
had a good
sweet.
time
Very
with.
sweet.
I had a good time with you bashing me and my relationship and talking about the great night of the the lightweight night that I had.
I got more if you want me to. I mean, just ask. I could do this all day.
Let's save it for next week and we'll talk about our 21st birthdays. How about that?
Oh, we can definitely do that. We can definitely do that.
Everybody,
I mean, I probably remember your 21st birthday better than I remember my 21st birthday.
I remember I was not there for your 21st, but there's no way I remember my 21st.
True. All right, take us on, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Gym Class Majors,
Yes,
and this
sir.
is the Gym Class Majors podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Gym Class Majors, and on Instagram, Gym Class Majors Pod. Email us if you want, gymclassmajorspod@gmail. Leave some comments. Let us know what you think about. We appreciate all your support, every little view, every set of eyes, every set of ears. Guys, subscribe to us on your podcast platforms. Leave a 5-star review and let your boys know how much you like them. How much you like us, rather. But Brian, where can they find you on the socials?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, same handle, BM Davis __ 418. And again, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram, Gym Class Majors, podcasts. You can find us everywhere. Then you're gonna find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, anywhere that you're available to stream podcasts. Will pretty much be there. Yeah.
We appreciate everybody. Everybody have a good night. Everybody take care of yourselves, and we're out.
Peace.